Nightcrawler is a sex machine that calls himself Blueberry Muffin. Which one of these is not true? Welcome to Mike Talks Marvel. I'm Mike.
I'm Frank.
And I'm Ashley.
And we talk Marvel. Although today, I think we're going to be talking a little bit more about Star Wars, which, it's in the Marvelverse.
Very true indeed.
There's comics, so...
Yeah. That are Marvel comics. I don't read them. I know very little about Star Wars, so you guys are going to take the lead on all of those conversations, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
We have all the important details that you need to know, so...
I know the basics. I'll be able to jump in there once in a while with my Chewbacca imitation.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
I was going to say, when are we going to get that?
You guys want to hear a funny story?
Sure.
When I was in high school, I used to do a lot of imitations, and the one that was like everybody's favorite was my Michael J. Fox Back to the Future imitation, and people loved it. And every once in a while, like one of my friends would call me just to have me do this imitation, and then they would crack up and get off the phone, and it was the greatest thing. And I felt so cool that I was good at this imitation, and I found out years later that it was all a joke against me because I was so bad at this imitation that they were calling to laugh at me, not with me.
Oh my god.
That's harsh.
Yeah, no, it was pretty funny.
All right.
Do we have Tony here today?
Unless he's the one viewer here, he hasn't commented yet.
Okay.
We did just start.
Oh, he's here.
Hey, Tony.
This is our moderator, Tony.
Yeah, Tony is the invisible.
I have an echo. I apparently have an echo, and I don't know why.
And that's why he's the moderator.
What if I just do this? Is this any better, or is this worse?
Well, is the echo coming from us, or is the echo... I don't know.
No, I think... Oh, he said this is fine. Okay.
Cool.
Do you have something?
Me?
Did you have something?
Who are you talking to?
The one of you two. Because I was about to say something.
Okay, you got some stuff.
All right. I am 100% convinced Tony works for Marvel. Because a few streams ago, what did we have a conversation about? We had a conversation about all the MCU movies coming out this year and all the dates. And what did we just get a few days ago? A confirmed video listing off all the dates of all the Marvel movies coming out in Phase 4. How have we not realized this by now? Tony is Marvel confirmed.
I mean, it's the only explanation. He's the only one listening. And everything he asked for comes true.
He's either the heads of Marvel or he's the middleman. And I don't know which is, but I'm on to him.
Mm-hmm. If they announce a Snowguard solo series, that's like that thing, like me and Becky sometimes will test out how much our devices are listening to us, and I'll just whisper like, "We really need a new microwave. I don't really need one, but I want to see if they're listening." And then like the next day, the microwave ads start showing up on everything.
Mm-hmm.
So then we can just turn this show into like our wish list come true,
I don't know. Like, does it come with a price though? Like, is it a monkey paw situation?
Like for everything that happens, we have to endure like a Thor Dark World to go with it.
Hey, Ashley likes Thor Dark World.
Loki's in it.
I like it.
You know,
that gets crapped on.
Frank, you could always just ask our friend who actually works for Marvel. Just putting that out there.
That's true. We also have a friend on the inside, but I'm convinced Tony is higher than that. He said he's Stanley's consciousness in the internet, so I believe it.
Ah, I like that.
Well, if Tony is higher than that, then obviously you're working at the wrong Stop and Shop, Frank. Please go find a job.
Yeah, I have to find his Stop and Shop. I have to, commingle.
Yeah.
So did you guys get a chance to look at
Marvel? Mention to them, Snowguard needs a solo series.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
We will. So did you guys ever
using this power for evil? Like, if we find out Snowguard gets a solo series and we realize that our wish list can come true, then I'm just gonna go buy really cheap comics of obscure characters and then wish for them to be more popular,
No.
The comics.
Mike, I would appreciate if you didn't do that because the truth behind it all is actually that I'm a genie and I'm making all these things happen, and I'd prefer you don't use my power for evil. So
is this like a 3 wishes scenario, or is this like Shimmer and Shine where I get 3 a day?
Yeah, it's actually I'm in the middle. It's 1 a day, but I get a wish every single day.
So I think like if I had a wish a day from a genie, it would start off fantastical, where it'd be like, I want a money bin that I can go swimming in, like Scrooge McDuck. But then by the end of the week, I would just be like, I just want toast in my hand.
Honestly, though, like, I feel like for a lot of people, it would, like, start off, like, really big and then just, like, slowly die down and be like,
yeah.
I wish I had a robot that cleaned my house.
And then it would start, like having wishes negate the previous wish. So, like, day 1 would be like, I want a mansion where you have to go down a water slide to get from room to room. And then the next day, I'd be like, no more water slides.
like Wanda in House of M, where she's like, no more mutants, just no more water slides ever in the world.
Yeah. Yes, I'll be done with them after a day. When I realize I got to go do laundry, but I have to go down the water slide to get there.
Well, that took a turn.
Yeah. So there have been some recent developments in the world of the MCU, not just dates being released, but there have been a few neat little tidbits here and there.
Yeah.
First off, Hawkeye and Miss Marvel's costumes being revealed in some press release set photos and stuff like that. Very comic accurate. Very excited for both of them.
And Miss Marvel's going to be in Captain Marvel 2, which is being called The Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with the Marvels comic book.
Oh, there's a Marvel's comic book.
Yeah. So there was Marvel, or the Marvel, something like that, series that was, it basically went through the whole timeline of Marvel's superheroes, but through the perspective of this one guy who just was there for a lot of it, And now there's a Marvel's comic book. The first one just came out, and it's sort of like re-going through everything from the perspective of the superheroes, but kind of as like one long tale instead of,
Gotcha.
Yeah. But this is the Marvels as in the Captain Marvels, right? So you have Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau.
That's right. She's also confirmed for it.
Mm-hmm.
Previously in WandaVision. Very good. I liked her, seeing her get her powers. Wonder if she's gonna go by Spectrum or Phase is the other name, maybe?
She's had like 8 names.
That's true.
Like
That's true.
Quake.
Nope, Quake is someone else.
Yeah.
Quake is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Gotcha. Yes, I know that.
I'm gonna look it up now because I can't think. Blue something, right?
Well, you look that up.
Yeah. Right now.
They also have been spotted filming Moon Knight, the TV show Moon Knight, in the Museum of Budapest.
Photon.
Oh, that's cool.
Photon.
J-Star.
And she also Captain Marvel. Oh, like Tony says.
Monica Marvel, Sun Goddess, Spectrum. I knew her as Spectrum and Photon.
Gotcha. Tony wonders if Monica will be Earth's Captain Marvel. So we'll have Carol Danvers as Galactic Captain Marvels and maybe Monica's Earth Captain Marvel. Possible.
Yeah.
Um,
But this, I think the Marvels revelation is the first time we're seeing how much the TV shows and movies are going to interconnect, because Miss Marvel has her own show coming out, and she's gonna
right.
be Captain. Yeah, so I think they're really going to play into each other a lot more than we could have even expected, which is cool.
Very true. Very true.
I don't remember what you were talking about before.
We lost Ashley.
That's all right. We were talking about Captain Marvel, Moon Knight, and the Budapest Museum.
Oh, yeah. You said like Budapest Hotel, and I just went in another world.
Yeah, it's so Oscar Isaac Poe from Star Wars is gonna be Moon Knight, and Ethan Hawke is also gonna be in the show. Or show. I don't know who he's playing, but they were spotted together, and that whole museum is blocked off, and there's a bunch of film crew there. So
cool.
Very neat. I don't know when that's supposed to release. I just know it's in production.
I know very little of Moon Knight. I read one of his series where he was in an insane institution. But I don't really know much about him.
I thought Moon Knight was a Kirby character.
That's Meta Knight.
Okay. I always do that.
He's cool looking. I just don't know why I never read much by him. He's crossed paths with Spider-Man a few times, so.
He's like white costume Batman, basically. He's like Marvel's Batman. He's like got the spirit of an Egyptian god in him or something like that.
Yeah.
That's as far as my knowledge on Moon Knight goes. But I'm excited because he does look really cool.
Yeah, he's very popular, so it'd be good for me to learn about him more. I'll probably just go on Marvel Unlimited and read a bunch of his books, find out more about him.
Yeah.
That's what
Is he a Knight of the Moon?
Probably.
That makes two of us.
He just moons people at night.
I knew it.
I see. I think that's all the Marvel MCU news. Unless you guys want to talk about the What If show.
Is there news about that?
There's been concept art released recently. Things that might happen in some episodes. Like there's do you guys remember the Collector from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Well, there's some art of him, but he's like jacked.
Wow.
He's got like his fur thing, and then he's just got like a big six-pack. And I'm like, that's not Benicio del Toro.
This show is gonna be something else.
They had Iron Man in his Hulkbuster armor, but it's all colorful, almost like he's in Sakaar with the Grandmaster.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There was Gamora in Thanos' armor with his sword.
Oh, that's cool.
That would have been cool.
I wonder if that's going to hint towards her role in the last Infinity series, where she went by a name and I can't remember what it was now, but she went full on bad for a little bit there and was just killing people to get her way to the stones.
Gotcha. And then the last art that I saw was King Loki, like throne Loki.
King Loki.
Okay, I thought we were both reacting the same way to King Loki. You just didn't hear what he said.
I thought he said Thing Loki, and I was like Loki becomes the thing.
Oh no, like Loki, leader of Asgard, basically, with his like very royal robes and stuff like that. Which maybe they'll do some they'll do an episode of that. I know the first season is 10 episodes. Second season is 10 episodes. First season drops sometime this year.
I think it's supposed to be a summer show, right? I thought
possibly
like July-ish was there, or at least the expectation was. That's when it was.
Yeah. If I had to make a guess, it would probably be August because that's after Black Widow.
Gotcha.
But Who knows?
I haven't thought much about what if lately, but I mean, the possibilities are endless.
And it's Chadwick Boseman's last performance ever, because he recorded his audio before he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, as a fangirl, we have our headcanons, and this show is basically like taking headcanons and being like, what if things were this way? Because like that's what headcanons are. It's a what if situation, alternate universe type stuff. So I haven't thought much on it, but you talking about that concept art and stuff, it seems like we're going to see some very interesting things that can really, lead to more.
Yeah, it was the what ifs were a really cool thing when I was a kid in the late 80s, because it was, you'd go to the comic shop and all your buddies, you'd be talking about, like, wouldn't it be cool if, like, what if happened if Ben never died? What would Peter Parker be like? And you just argue with your friends about it, and then they would come out with the what if of that, and you would go home and read it and just be excited to see what that universe would look like. And then,
That's cool.
It didn't change anything in the actual world. It was just exploring it,
Yeah, I like that. It's like safe, but you're able to take risks,
Right.
Because you're not affecting the main timeline.
For next week's episode, we should all come up with our own what if, and like talk about it.
So we give the what if, like the question.
Yeah. So like how you just said, what if Ben hadn't died?
Yep.
And then we can like discuss it. We'll each, have our own.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
What if already did it? Whatever we're gonna come up with, but that's okay. We'll have our own.
Yeah.
Ours
That'll
will
be fun.
There's actually,
I
I think I talked about it in last week's episode, called I think it's called Spider's Shadow, and it's basically what if Peter Parker never gave up the symbiote suit.
Yeah.
Which they've done a few times, and they actually did a what if back in the early 90s with that. But this is like a 6-part series where they're going to really go into depth with it.
Gotcha. And like what it kind of the toll it takes on him, probably.
I'm sure, yeah.
Neat.
Speaking of what if zany Marvel plot lines, I have a game for you guys.
Let's play it.
You ready to play it?
Let's do it.
So you guys remember the game I did last time, where we did 10 characters. Some of them were real, some of them were not. Do that, but it's a little bit different. So this time I'm going to give you an X-Men, a superhero Marvel storyline, and I'm going to tell you 3 bullet-pointed facts about this storyline. 2 of them will be real facts from the story, and one of them is one I made up. You have to figure out which one I made up.
Okay.
If you get it, you get a point. If neither one of you get it, I get the point.
Okay. There's stakes in this now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Tony, you can play along as well. You can just type in your answer.
All right. Are we doing
Tony's
like,
probably gonna get more points.
Are we doing like an ABC type thing?
Sure.
Okay.
You ready for number 1?
Yes.
Okay, so I told you there's going to be 2 real ones and 1 that I made up. This first one is the one exception to that. There's going to be 3 real ones and 1 I made up. So there's going to be 4 scenarios. 3 of them are real. 1 of them I made up. But this storyline was so zany, I couldn't cut it down anymore. I had to add at least the 3. And there was a lot more that I wanted to add. So this is from an X-Men storyline called Holy Wars. Here are some of the plot points. There was an evil plot to turn Nightcrawler into the Pope. There were exploding communion wafers. Storm drinks roofied holy water. Nightcrawler is a sex machine that calls himself Blueberry Muffin. Which one of these is not true?
Okay.
All right. I got mine.
All right. What's your guesses?
Are we holding him up?
Oh, sure. I put a star next to mine.
So you're guessing exploding wafers, and Ashley is guessing Nightcrawler is a sex machine?
Yeah.
We're both wrong. Both of those plot points were real. Storm did not get roofied by holy water.
Ah.
So in this storyline, first of all, here were some other zany things that happened in it, or not necessarily zany, but just like why. There was crucified teenage mutants. There was all sorts. There was an ex-nun, not a mutant or anything like that. She was just an ex-nun who went against the Catholic Church, and she was behind all of the bad stuff that happened in this. But she was somehow so powerful, she crushed people's skulls. It was very bizarre. There was an evil plot to turn Nightcrawler into the Pope because they were gonna use something to disguise what he looked like. They convinced him he was a priest. They were gonna get him to become the Pope and then reveal his figure, making the Western world think that the Antichrist had come back, starting a giant war. They used exploding communion wafers. And the reason that their plan failed is because Nightcrawler gave up on the priesthood because he was a sex machine who jokingly called himself Blueberry Muffin in the same scene where they found the crucified teenagers.
Great.
Oh my god.
Felt like joking around, I guess.
We also have our second commenter of our stream. I'm Papa J, aka Jason, my former co-worker. Love you too, man.
So we got someone joining in. Did he say anything?
He said love you, Frank.
Well,
so that's why I responded with love you too.
Tell him he can play too if he wants to. Did Tony chime in? We forgot to.
He chose B.
He chose B as well. So Tony. So you got Mike got the full point.
Yes. Everyone write down your own points. We're playing on honor system here.
You know, I
will review.
It makes sense now that you've explained it, but like my initial thought, I was like, my sweet religious boy Nightcrawler, how could he be a sex god? But then you were like, he left the priesthood, and I was like, oh, okay, he's no longer a sweet religious boy.
All right, so now we're going back down to 3. These are
all right.
2 real and fake. This is from a storyline called Reign, as in REIGN, Spider-Man storyline. It takes place 30 years after Peter Parker was Spider-Man. That's real. That's not part of the game. That's just a little backstory there. So 30 years after he was Spider-Man, he is A, now a florist, B, becomes Spider-Man again but changes his name to Daddy Longlegs, and C, killed Mary Jane by giving her cancer with his radioactive sperm.
My god. Okay. Give me a minute.
Tony says A.
That is also what I am going with.
I'm going with B.
So A was, you guys are guessing
Florist.
You're guessing not Daddy Longlegs?
Yes. And Tony's guessing florist as well.
Frank was correct. He was not Daddy Longlegs. I made that up. He was a florist, and he did kill Mary Jane by giving her cancer with his radioactive sperm. My God.
It was so specific that that one had to be right. Like that's messed up.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. When I was writing this, I was like, that plot line is so bizarre that they're gonna know it was really there because they wouldn't think that I would make that up as though, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So now we're going back to the 80s for an Avenger storyline in about 197 to 200. I don't remember the name of the arc, but Carol Danvers gives birth in 3 days. That's the entire pregnancy. During her pregnancy, she wins a pie eating contest by eating 457 blueberry pies. And her baby is actually the very person who impregnated her.
You gotta be kidding me. Okay.
Tony is locked in with B.
I have locked in with C.
I'm gonna lock in with B.
So what was B?
B was Blueberry Pies,
Yep.
and Ashley's is Paradox Baby.
Okay, so Frank and Tony get the point. There was no blueberry contest.
What?
She was impregnated by her baby.
What is wrong with Marvel?
Grew up, took her to limbo. No, actually, I almost didn't do this story in here, but I decided that it's just so bad that it needed to be made fun of. But I almost didn't do it because it's actually really an unfunny storyline where Carol Danvers is essentially like mind controlled and then raped into having a baby, and the Avengers not only do nothing about it, they get mad at her for acting upset. It's a really bad storyline. Yeah, it's from the 80s. It was all men writing it, so it was not good. It was not good stuff.
Big oof.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't gonna do it because I didn't want to laugh with it, but then I said no, we should be making fun of how bad this is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. That is a terrible storyline.
Yeah. So now we're gonna move into Spider-Man: Sins Past.
Okay.
A. Peter Parker goes grave digging for DNA samples. B. Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy have twin children. Or C. Mary Jane adopts a baby who turns into the Grey Goblin.
I'm gonna lock in with A. Tony's locking in with C.
I say B.
Ashley's got B. All right.
You guys covered them all this time. I'm going to take the point because it's for you two, right, that I get the point?
True.
But Tony was correct.
So the Grey Goblin is fake.
Yes. So in this storyline, there's twins who are now older, and I think they attack Peter Parker out of nowhere, and then he gets their DNA from it, and somehow he's told that it was actually Gwen Stacy's children. He didn't believe it, so he goes grave digging, digs up Gwen Stacy's body, gets her DNA, compares it to what he has from the kids, finds out that she had a baby. He goes and tells Mary Jane, and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I swear it wasn't mine. It's not mine. And she's like, no, Gwen came to me many years ago, and 7 months, no, like 7 months before she was killed, she had these babies, and went to Europe for a while to hide out because she had an affair with Norman Osborn, didn't want him to know, blah, blah, blah. Then Norman killed her, kept the babies. One of them did grow up to be Grey Goblin, but it wasn't Mary Jane that adopted him.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, so Mike takes the point for that, and we have our third commenter of the day, my other coworker, Alex. His comment is like a emoticon, like waving. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Alex. Feel free to play along as well. I'll redo the rules here since we have a few more people listening. I'm going through crazy Marvel storylines that have actually happened in the books, and I'm telling 2 things that happened in these storylines that are true, and 1 that I completely made up. And everyone is trying to guess which is the one that I made up. We're moving on to a comic series called Trouble. This was a series in the early 2000s when Marvel decided they wanted to try and bring back romance comic books as an effort to bring more women in to read because they thought women only liked romance. So in this story, you find out that Uncle Ben is sterile. Aunt May is actually Peter Parker's mother. Peter Parker was born in a pizzeria bathroom.
All right. So
I'm locking in with C.
I have also locked in with C, and Tony has locked in with A.
Do your coworkers want to play?
They haven't commented. They might not want to play.
Okay.
But let's hear the answer.
We'll give it a few more seconds, and then I'll...
All right.
And now, the correct answer was indeed C. Good job, Frank. So in this storyline, it takes place when May was a teenager, and she was with her friend Mary, and May was in a relationship with Ben, but May cheated on Ben with Mary's boyfriend, got pregnant, couldn't have been Ben's because Ben was sterile, so she's, you know, her parents are all evangelical or whatever, so she runs away, goes into hiding. Mary tries to help her out, even though she's mad at her for sleeping with her boyfriend, and decides to take the baby. And then her and her boyfriend, who are known as Peter's parents because they raised him, and Aunt May takes over when they die, but she was actually his mother to begin with. It was really bad. The timeline stuff didn't make sense. It was bizarre. Everybody hated it.
Marvel basically just tried to make a soap opera.
Yeah. Yep.
Great.
Well, dang. You never realize how many weird, bad storylines there are until you just sit them down and just look.
Yeah. Now we're moving on to Punisher from 1991, arc called Final Days. In it, Punisher is framed and put in jail for stealing apples. He breaks out of jail after getting his face jigsawed by Jigsaw. While he is on the run, he goes to a doctor who turns him black so he can hide.
So, what A is... What?
He is framed and put in jail for stealing apples.
Okay.
Can't change your answer.
I didn't.
Oh my god, you both just did it.
I didn't change my answer at all.
I haven't given the answer yet. They can change it.
I've been writing everything down.
Frank's just putting in all the extra effort.
Yeah. So I went with A.
I also went with A.
And Tony went with B.
You two are right. It's A.
Oh, I actually had B first, and then I changed it to A because I was like, I bet he didn't steal apples. I bet it was something else.
Yeah, I don't even know why he was put in jail. I think Kingpin framed him for like a murder or something and put him in jail.
Okay.
Did get his face jigsawed by Jigsaw, and he's on the run. He goes to a doctor who turns him black, so he's into hiding. And Punisher was black for a while.
So turns his face black or his entire being black?
In black, yes. He is a black man.
Great. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marvel. Okay.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's see.
We're going into the Ultimates Volume 3. In the Ultimates Volume 3, Tony Stark makes a sex tape. Wanda and Pietro have sex with each other. Captain America and Wolverine play strip poker.
I feel like these are all things that have happened in fan fictions that I've read, so I don't know.
It's Wolverine and who?
Cap. Steve would never. God, I gotta tell the roleplay group about this one. They'll get a kick out of it.
Alright, I'm locked in.
Alright.
I've got A.
Alright, you and Tony have A.
Mm-hmm.
I have C.
You're guessing Captain America and Wolverine play strip poker?
Yes.
You are correct. That is the fake.
Thank you,
Wanda
Steve.
and
I knew you wouldn't fail me.
Wanda and Pietro did indeed have sex with each other in the Ultimates 3.
Yeah. It's the Ultimate Universe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
The
fever
Ultimates
dream.
was basically the Avengers of the Ultimate Universe.
Gotcha.
And Tony Stark did make a sex tape as well.
Of course he did. He's Tony Stark.
I guess.
All right. This next one is from a comic series called Daydreamers. Franklin Richards, Howard the Duck, and some other people fly to the nexus of all realities on a magic, you guessed it, school bus. Franklin Richards, Howard the Duck, and others take a dive inside the body of Man-Thing, whose innards is a portal. Franklin Richards, Howard the Duck, and others go to a world called Never Never Narnosbia.
Alright.
Yep, locked in. Tony's got B.
I'm going with A.
I'm going with C.
We got everything covered there. So, A was
Magic School Bus.
Who guessed B?
Tony.
Tony
guessed B, and that was the deep dive inside the Man-Thing. Was innards was a portal. Yep. And you're guessing C, Never Never Narnosbia.
Yeah.
That gets the point. They did fly to the nexus of all realities, which was inside Man-Thing. But it wasn't on Magic School Bus.
There wasn't a Magic School Bus.
So the Daydreamers was a series that came out during the popularity of the Magic School Bus, and they were trying to sort of create their own bizarre traveling to worlds things through Man-Thing's body. Through different realities. And
okay.
Man-Thing's the big plant guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Fascinating.
He does protect the nexus of all realities, I believe, in the comics, but not through his body. Just in this one storyline.
This is very important. Tony asks, which orifice?
I'm not sure that's stressed, but I believe through. Next, moving on to Iron Man from a 1998 storyline. In this storyline, Tony gets tied naked to a tree for some bizarre BDSM. Tony's suit falls in love with him and becomes his obsessed stalker. And Tony's girlfriend breaks up with him because he cuddles with his armor when he's sleeping.
Okay.
I am going with A.
I'm going with C.
And so is Tony.
Tony's going with what?
C.
C. You guys are correct. That was the fake one. So, Tony's suit falls in love with him. It becomes sentient. Becomes obsessed with him. It kills some people. It threatens his girlfriend. It tries to keep him inside of it. It ties him to a tree.
Oh no!
Weird stuff. Eventually, he ends up on a desert island with this armored suit and has a heart attack. And then the suit rips out its own heart and gives it to Tony. I don't know. And then even despite all of this, he tries to save the armor at the end. It was weird.
This also sounds like Marvel tried to write a soap opera.
Yeah.
My robot suit loves me. What do I do?
All right, this next one's going to take me a minute because I got to do some reading here. These are going to be some long-winded ones.
Okay.
I can tell you guys the score in the meantime.
Okay.
So Tony and Mike are tied in last place with 2 points each, I believe. I have 4 points, and then Ashley has 5.
Nice. Done.
The 90s were
The 90s were a
weird
weird time.
Mm.
Dang straight, Tony. Dang straight.
Please hold while Mike does his research.
Okay. You ready? I mean, I wrote all this down, but this one is a lot, so I wanted to make sure I had.
All right, let's do this.
Okay. So, Wolverine snaps and kills Sabretooth. Number 1. Number 2, Magneto removes Wolverine's adamantium, which it turns out was the only thing keeping him from being feral, so he turns into a dumb animal incapable of intelligent thought. Professor X convinces Wolverine into taking a giant serum, which he does, and it makes him huge, and he's able to go undercover as a Sentinel, but in doing so, he forgets who he is and actually tries to kill the X-Men.
And what was the first one again?
Wolverine kills Sabretooth. I'm gonna go with A.
I'm going with B.
Tony also says A.
So A was Wolverine snaps and kills Sabretooth?
Yep. And B is Magneto takes out the adamantium skeleton, causing a feral Wolverine.
Both wrong. I get the point. You're all right.
Mike?
Professor X convinces Wolverine to take the giant serum. I made that up entirely. I had to make up something long but somewhat realistic to go along with the long Magneto removes Wolverine. But here's the crazy thing. So Magneto removes Wolverine's adamantium, which somehow makes him start going completely feral, and like he turns into this like dumb caveman, like he can't even have full sentences. That's when he snaps and kills Sabretooth. And he's like this for a long time, and then somehow like Elektra just snaps him back into reality because she's pretty, I guess. And though even though he starts getting like his intelligence back, he still looks like this dumb caveman for like 10 issues. He's just like that. And then the next issue, he's just back to like business, regular Wolverine. No explanation. No, like they just forgot about it completely.
That was a good one, though. You did good with that, because my first response was, well, if he snapped and like killed the X-Men, then maybe he would have killed Sabretooth as well. So I was like, has to be B, but that was good.
That was good. So Ashley is the overall winner of that.
She got 5.
She got 5, I got 4, you got 3, and Tony got 2.
I actually got less, if we're counting Tony's.
If we're counting Tony, right.
Yeah. Which we count, Tony.
We always count Tony, because we're on to him.
Yeah.
We're on to him.
That was fun.
That was a good game.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
I like that. It really
brings home
really
how bad
shows.
Brings home how bad they can get.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, you know, nobody sees those comics, so that's like, I feel like I never realized, when I was first getting into comics, I never realized how many alternate universes and varieties there were. And when I was introduced to Savage Lands, I was like, what is this? Like, I mean, it's awesome. I love Savage Lands, but I was like, cavemen? So Marvel is definitely wild.
Yeah, and then they try and like make it all function, and then they can't. It's impossible. It's just they've just overdone themselves so many times that trying to explain it away just makes it more convoluted and ridiculous.
Very true.
Remember that time
Yeah.
Parker gave Mary Jane some radioactive sperm? Like,
I would like not to remember quite a few of the things that you've said in this game specifically.
Right.
Like, oh no.
wasn't so bad was the Daydreamers one because it was Howard the Duck. So with him involved in it, it's gonna be weird. Like that's the whole point of it, you know. It's when
That
they try
one was...
like, serious arcs and they're so bizarre, like the X-Men one. They try to make him the Pope. Like,
right.
it was a good storyline when they wrote that.
The thing is, like, at first that was really strange to me, especially with it being Nightcrawler. But then you got to the Pietro and Wanda thing, and I was like, oh god, I avoided this for so many years. Because, you know, there's people out there, and when Age of Ultron came out, there was Pietro and Wanda everywhere, and I was like, stop. And now the fact that you have confirmed that this happened in the comics makes it so much worse.
It is Ultimate Universe, so at least you have that to go by. The best part about it was like they through like a third party, I forgot who says it now, but somebody in the Avengers tells Captain America, Wanda and Pietro love each other, and then he's like, of course they do, they're brother and sister, and then they're in love with each other. And they could have just ended it with that, but then like just out of nowhere and for no reason, they have Wolverine inner monologuing, telling the story about watching them do each other.
No! I quit.
Like there was no need for it.
Oh no. We're in charge now, alright? We're the new Marvel writers. They're just gonna... You guys make what we say. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Well, Tony says Howard the Duck had a human girlfriend. That's also true.
That's true. Yeah.
It is true. It's weird.
My knowledge of Howard the Duck only comes from the film Howard the Duck. Is it true in the comic books he comes from a separate universe of bipedal duck people?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he just ends up in our universe.
I think the movie was semi-comic accurate, yeah.
Wow. I don't like to hear that.
I mean, as someone who plays Dungeons and Dragons, there are strange things that...
Right. But if you've seen the Howard the Duck film, in the very opening scene when he's getting shunted out into our universe, he crashes through a wall into the bathroom of a lady duck, and you can see her in the bathtub, but you see duck boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Humanish boobs on duck. And I don't want to know that exists in comic form. I don't want to think about that existing in comic form.
Oh yeah, you got to read some Howard. You know what was really great about the Howard the Duck comics? The guy who wrote them, who created them, was just trying to make this really bizarre, zany, you know, adult comic where it was going to have all this adult gross humor, but also very kiddish and silly. And then he was starting to have problems with the higher ups at Marvel, and they were arguing about stuff, and he was like mad about not having, they were like using the character for things that he wasn't getting paid for and stuff like that. So he started making fun of them in the comics without them knowing, like subtly doing it. And they would like review these comics before they came out and would be like, good stuff, and then they would put it out, and he was like trashing them, and they didn't even know.
Howard met Kiss. Yeah. You know, I feel like Howard has done a lot of things.
I feel like the crossover from like popular person in the world to Marvel superhero is often intersects.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Obama in a comic book? I think
He was on the cover of the Spider-Man Inauguration Day issue in 2009.
Gotcha.
So you guys want to talk some Star Wars? Kind of monopolized all our time with that game.
No, I mean, really, the only thing you need to know is that the best Star Wars movie is The Phantom Menace, and that the worst one is, well, the worst one is The Force Awakens. Go tell people that, Mike.
Okay.
Tony says, "Oh God, hell no!"
Don't listen to Tony. You'd make friends if you told people that.
Here's what I will say. I'm not a Star Wars guy. So, when I see a Star Wars movie, I probably enjoy it more than most Star Wars people do, because they're looking for like a consistency and like the same way that I guess I am with Marvel movies, but I don't know, I'm pretty lenient with those too. I think I can just relax and just enjoy them for what they are. And when you're watching them that way, the prequels are a lot of fun.
Yes. First of all, I would like to throw the "oh God, hell no" back at Tony about watching the holiday special. Absolutely not. And then continue by saying, I agree with you, Mike. I was very young when I saw Star Wars for the first time. However, the prequels had already started to come out, because I'm young. But
I was 55 when the prequels came out.
He's 300 now.
Then my iron suit fell in love with me.
What am I saying? Oh, I still get picked on because people think the prequels are just bad. And
I know.
Attack of the Clones is still one of my favorite Star Wars movies. That is, the first Star Wars movies I saw were 4, 5, and 6. I did see them correctly with those first. Not story-wise, but, you know, I saw the originals first. And then even I don't like Phantom Menace. But Attack of the Clones, everyone's like, oh, there's too much politics. And I'm like, is there? I didn't pay attention to that. So, like, I just pay attention to what I like. And what I like is Anakin and Padme and Obi-Wan. And, you know, people are like, so bad. And I'm like, it's not. I had fun. I like it.
I like to make
Star
Wars fans angry when they mention that they don't like the prequels. And I'll say in response, yeah, but Jar Jar was great.
Oh, no.
How much, though, of Phantom Menace can you watch, Ashley? Can you sit through the whole movie and watch The Phantom Menace?
Probably. Qui-Gon Jinn is in it, yeah.
You can't even sit through all of Empire Strikes Back.
I don't like the part with Yoda. I get bored with the whole training sequence. But yeah, I am not your typical Star Wars fan. I apologize. I still have not seen all of Revenge of the Sith, and I will not see all of Revenge of the Sith. I also have not seen the latest Star Wars movie. Is it the Last Skywalker Jedi?
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. I have not seen that either.
I think I did see that.
I don't know. I think they showed Kylo Ren in the trailer, and I went, that's too much, and I didn't go see it, because Kylo Ren is in my top 3 hated characters of all time.
I heard in the last movie, for a brief bit, Kylo and Rey switch roles, where Kylo's going to the good side and Rey's going to the dark side. I don't know how true that is.
Why? You know what? I'm not going to question it, because I haven't seen it, but
I will say in the hierarchy of Star Wars movies, the best one is Empire Strikes Back. Then A New Hope, because that's the OG. Then I'm gonna say 3, 2, 6, 8, and then 7 and 9 we just get rid of.
You know what's the problem with A New Hope, though? Too many shots of Luke staring longingly into the desert sun. Watch
Okay.
it. Watch it again now that I said that.
I mean, you're completely
How
right.
many shots, though? I think it's just one shot.
But it's like 4 hours long.
But the music swells.
If I were to do a hierarchy that from like favorite to meh, I don't include 7 because I've erased that from my mind, and I haven't seen 9. So my favorite is episode 6, followed
Return of the Jedi.
Then 5, Empire Strikes Back. Then 2, Attack of the Clones. Then 4, A New Hope, followed by Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, and whatever 8 was. Because I saw 8, and I cried through most of it, but it wasn't bad.
8 was The Last Jedi.
That one. There was like salt.
Mine goes Ewok Christmas Special #1.
No.
Ewok Wookiee Christmas Special?
Whatever. Yeah, that one. #2, Jar Jar Binks 4th of July Special. Never aired. But it was... and #3 was Jabba the Hutt's Thanksgiving Special.
Oh,
okay.
That needs to be... They need to air that one.
And Spaceballs. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs,
Yeah.
adding it to the Star Wars list.
I would put Spaceballs at #5 on my list, which puts 1, 3, and 8 below. I like Spaceballs.
I can agree with that.
Me, Ashley, who hates comedy and doesn't like parody movies, put Spaceballs before some of the Star Wars movies.
Spaceballs is good.
Yeah.
Spaceballs is great. It's very quotable.
Who was Han Solo in that? Someone famous.
Bill.
Yeah, that's right. Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. Yeah.
I mean, I would like to make the argument that Attack of the Clones is very quotable as well.
But more quotable than Spaceballs.
I like it.
I unfortunately can only quote Attack of the Clones.
I started watching. Was it Attack of the Clones? Was that the name of the cartoon too?
The Clone Wars.
The XD.
Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars.
I started watching that with Nolan, but then he didn't want to watch it anymore. So, but I
I've
like.
heard it's a great show.
I loved.
There's 2 Clone Wars cartoons.
Okay.
There's the original one made by Genndy Tartakovsky. It's 2D animation. It came out before Episode 3 released. It was released on Cartoon Network, made by Genndy Tartakovsky, who did Samurai Jack and Dexter's Lab, I think. And then there's the 3D CG Clone Wars cartoon. And I think technically they all take place in the same timeline, I think. Both are good. Yeah, and then there's the Rebels cartoon. I haven't watched, but we have friends who watched it.
I think I saw that too.
Yeah.
Party too. I have some quick comic news before we go.
Sure.
There's a new series coming out involving the Infinity Gems, and it's going to be centralized on Black Cat being tasked with stealing them all.
Well, she's a jewel thief.
But what makes this extra interesting is that in the last Infinity Saga storyline, the gems attached themselves to people, so they are actually living people now. In fact, the new hero Star is the Reality Stone. She has the Reality Stone attached to her, and she's superhero, supervillain, she's kind of both. She's pretty cool. So yeah, all the gems are attached inside people now, and she's gonna have to try and get them all. And I don't know for what purpose.
So,
oh boy.
Sounds like it's gonna be.
Are the gems going to be attached to people that we know, or like new characters?
I think both.
Okay.
I know there was a criminal who has one of them in him, and he's sort of had this plot line that's been going on for a long time since it landed in him. I think it might be Time Stone. I can't remember which one he has. So some of them we know about, and some of them I don't think we know where they are yet. So we'll find out.
Oh, neat.
Cool.
Yeah.
I look forward to hearing more about that.
And they're also doing, like, over the summer, they have a lot of the annuals coming out. And so there's Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and someone else. All of their annuals are going to be tied into this massive Infinity Gem heist.
I gotcha. Sounds neat.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Tony, to answer your question, I am, by all technicality, scheduled to be there tomorrow, but I got my second COVID shot today, so it depends if I feel like I got kicked in the face or not. But I am technically scheduled. If not, I'll be there Thursday and Friday, all day and all night. Thanks.
Oh, Alex has another emoticon waving hi at us.
Is it Pokemon?
Is that a Alolan Vulpix?
It looks like a
I cannot
Pokemon to me.
How are you feeling so far, Ash?
I'm feeling good so far. I think it's just warm in here, but I've been feeling like a little warmer than usual, and just my arm just started to get sore like an hour or two ago, and I got my shot one this afternoon. After I got it, I was cleaning and stuff, so I've, fingers crossed, good so far, but I've been hearing a lot about how 24 hours later you feel really tired and stuff, so we'll...
Which one did you get?
I got Pfizer.
Yeah,
Pfizer.
Okay.
Yep, so yay for COVID vaccines.
And what kind did Tony get? Because he's getting his second shot tomorrow? Possibly. I know the delay.
Yeah.
500?
500 what?
He's getting 500 shots?
I can't believe he's getting 500 shots.
Oh my gosh. He's gonna turn into like a super soldier.
Oh, 5 p.m. I didn't say what time. Which one are you getting? Pfizer, Moderna, Janssen? Moderna. Okay.
I have heard there are less side effects with that one. My dad got it. So hopefully you'll be good as well. But
yeah, good luck to you. And you. And all of us.
Yes. Luck to everyone. You get luck. And you get luck. Here's some luck.
Enjoy your luck. Take your goddamn luck.
And next week we'll throw some what if ideas at each other.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
We have a week to ponder our what ifs.
All right.
But until then.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm coming up with a good one. And I promise you one thing. As much as I want it to be, it will not be about Silk.
Okay. Fine.
All right.
You can do it if you want me to.
I guess mine won't be what would happen if Black Widow and Hawkeye ended up together.
You mean all these comics right here?
Yeah, you mean all the comics where they are together?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The MCU, what happens if they ended up together in the movies?
Oh, should we stick our what ifs to the MCU?
I think
it can be either. Yeah, anything is fine.
All right.
Universe you want.
And maybe Tony will also have a what if idea for us as well.
Yeah, do it.
We'll wait and see.
Anyone else listening too? If you're watching this
on
YouTube or the
Twitch.
I guess just YouTube.
We're streaming now Twitch. Next week we'll be streaming to Twitch, but whoever's watching this after we stream it on YouTube.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Feel free to play along at home.
We know what we're saying.
Yeah, we're professional.
Watch this next Monday on YouTube, and then watch live.
Next Monday.
Right. So next Monday they watch this, and then they have a day to watch this live, the next episode, and chime in with their what ifs.
I think. I don't know. We're chasing each other in circles. I don't know where we're going.
It's bedtime.
Yeah.
Good night, children.
It's time to Excelsior later.